Do you love ground beef as much as I do? Well, keep watching because today I am going to be sharing my top 5 ground beef recipes from 2024 that you have to make in 2025. Hey y'all, I'm Sammy and welcome to my kitchen. So sit back and relax, grab you some sweet tea, and let me do all the cooking. Come on y'all, let's go. We're going to start out with some cheesy beef enchilada tortellini. This was amazing, y'all. So into an oven-safe skillet, I'm just using my enamel-coated cast iron. I've got 1 pound of ground beef, a half a cup of diced onions, and we're going to use about a half a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Then we're just going to go ahead and brown this on up. Once it's browned, we're going to add in about a half a teaspoon of cilantro, a 1 teaspoon of chili powder, or 2. We're also going to add in about 1 to 2 teaspoons of cumin and about 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Once you have everything in there, you'll go ahead and just give that a stir together. Once it is combined, you will come in with 1 can of mild rotel. I'm using the Food Line brand. 1 can of the mild red enchilada sauce. Then you will add in 1 19 to 22 ounce bag of the frozen tortellini right on into the skillet. You don't have to cook this, it just goes right on in frozen. You'll want to go ahead and combine all of this together just to make sure that that tortellini gets covered. Once you have that mixed together, you'll just put the top on it and let that cook for about 15 minutes, just to where that tortellini will thaw out and absorb those flavors. After the 15 minutes, you'll take your lid off and just go right ahead and stir that together just to make sure that nothing is stuck to the bottom and that your tortellini has cooked down. Once you have that ready, you'll take 2 cups of shredded Monterey Jack. I use the block kind and I just shredded it myself. And you'll go ahead and put that right on over the top of it. Now with the remaining heat in the last 10 minutes, you'll cover it and let that cheese melt on down. Now you could put this in a 400-degree oven or underneath the broil for a little bit just to kind of brown up that cheese if you wanted to, but I opted just to leave it as is. That way that cheese was nice and cheesy. Now you just make sure you get your big old helping right here. Look at this cheese. It is cooked absolutely perfectly, and I just served mine up with a little bit of a dollop of some sour cream and some more cilantro right on top. And y'all, this one was to die for. It was amazing. You have got to give this one a try if you're looking for something different and quick and easy on a weeknight. This will definitely hit the spot. It is full of flavor and cheesy and just delicious. So make sure you try this one. Next up, let's make one of my favorite, which is a Big Mac Tater Skillet. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Big Mac, right? Starting out, I'm going to take some diced hash brown potatoes and put them right into my air fryer basket. I'm going to drizzle it with about 1 to 2 teaspoons of olive oil, about a teaspoon of salt, and about a half a teaspoon of black pepper, along with 1 teaspoon each of paprika and onion powder. Or you can season to your little heart's content, whatever makes you happy. We'll give that a good shake around. And now these go into an air fryer at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now I do shake them at about 10 minutes halfway through and just finish out the time there. While those are cooking into a large skillet, I got 2 pounds of ground beef. We're going to season that with a teaspoon each of onion powder and paprika, salt, and pepper. We'll take 1 medium onion diced up, so you'll have about a half a cup of diced onions. Then you're going to season it with whatever you want. I'm using some Badia Complete, but you can use any kind of a complete seasoning that you have, or you can just stick with the salt, pepper, and garlic. Next up, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic once that hamburger is browned. Then you'll just stir this together and cook it until that garlic smells flavorful. By this time, your tater should be nice and crispy. We'll just dump that right into the mixture, and we're going to use a burger sauce. Now you can make your own or you can buy some. I just opted to buy some, and I'm using the Kinder's burger sauce, and y'all, it didn't disappoint. It was so good. Now you do want to make sure that you stir this together thoroughly. That way you don't end up with no big glops of that burger sauce in there. Once you have it mixed well, you'll just kind of smooth that on down. And now we're going to add in about 1 to 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, whatever makes your heart happy. Y'all know I always say mo cheese, mo better. So that's what I'm doing right here. I use the entire 2 cups right here, with the exception of saving some for later when we make it look all pretty on the plate. We pop that lid back on and let that heat melt that cheese on down, and then you just put however much makes your little heart happy on your plate. Add you some shredded iceberg lettuce or romaine. I'm using romaine right here, along with some cheese and some chopped up pickles, some fresh diced onions, and more of that burger sauce, y'all. And of course, it would be a Big Mac without the sesame seeds. So I just sprinkled a few right on here. I promise you it will not disappoint, and your family is going to love this one. And like I said, you can't go wrong with a Big Mac, especially not when it's in one pan, y'all. Come on now, give it a try. Next, let's keep on moving right along with some Korean beef. This has got to be the most simplest supper ever. Into a large skillet, I've got 2 pounds of ground beef because I've got 3 hungry men to feed y'all. We're going to just break that up a little bit and add in some salt and pepper, about a teaspoon each. Go ahead and mix that in together until it is browned. Once you have that hamburger all browned up, just make sure you break it up into smaller pieces. We're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. If you don't like that much garlic, go ahead and add less, but at least a tablespoon, y'all. Mix that through your ground beef, and now this is where we're going to add in a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of soy sauce. You'll stir all of that in just to make sure that that brown sugar and the soy sauce gets very well mixed together before you add in about a teaspoon of sesame oil, toasted sesame oil. Next, we are going to add some ground or minced ginger. I have like a ginger paste right here, so I just went ahead and squeezed that right on in there, and I used 2 teaspoons of that. Make sure this is well combined, because you don't want no big clumps of ginger in there. Now, of course, butter makes it better, so we're going to add about a teaspoon of salted butter right into that mix. Just kind of brings the dish together. I will have all the original recipes linked down below, but if you are liking what you're seeing, go ahead and do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, because I'd love to have y'all as part of my family. Now, I just served mine up with some steamed basmati rice that you can get in the packs, and I also steamed some broccoli over here to the side and just seasoned that with a little bit of butter and garlic powder. Now, to serve this up, I just sliced up some green onions and some sesame seeds right over the top. And y'all, this was amazing. The flavor of this Korean beef is so good. If you like Asian and Korean meals, definitely try this one out, because it is so simple to put together. And now I know I said all of these are in my top 5 and they're all my favorites. Well, that's why they're in the top 5. You definitely have to make these crack burgers into a large mixing bowl. I've got 2 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds of lean ground beef. We're going to add in a cup of sour cream, 1 packet of ranch seasoning mix, about 2.5 ounces of chopped bacon bits. Now, you could fry your own bacon bits if you want to. And then 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese goes right into the mix. And now we're going to season it on up. I used about a teaspoon of Badia Complete. We're going to use some garlic powder, probably about a teaspoon of that, and the onion powder as well. And then I had 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and some Goya adobo seasoning. This was about 1/2 teaspoon as well. Now, I'm going to use the best tools God ever gave you in the kitchen, and those are your hands. Please feel free to put gloves on if you want to, but I just like to get in there and keep it real in my kitchen. So we're going to go ahead and mix these up until it is well combined. We are not going to overmix these because the burger will get tough. So we're just going to go ahead and form about a 1/2 pound patty each. And then I always put like a little dimple right in the center right here, like you just saw me do. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing those until they're all done. And then we're going to put them into the skillet. Now, I like to cook these until they have a nice crust and golden brown on the side, and then I'll flip them. And that's anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes on each side, depending on how you have your heat. I'm cooking mine on about medium low to medium high. And here they are all cooked up, and y'all, these were so good. You can just serve them up as is, put them on a bun, make a lettuce wrap out of them. I just did the classic mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato on mine, and I served them up with some crispy tater tots. Now, last but not least, let's make my favorite pepperoni tortellini skillet. Y'all, this one, oh, mouth watering just sitting here thinking about it. Into an oven safe skillet, I've got 1 pound of ground beef. We're going to season it up with 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon each of salt and pepper right in there. Then we're going to use some Badia Complete. You can use any kind of a complete seasoning that you want to. Nature seasoning is also really good in this. We'll just go ahead and brown that on up. Once it is completely browned, we're going to add in 1 cup of the mini pepperonis, but you can chop up your own pepperonis too, and then just put them in there and let them crisp on up until you start seeing them kind of curl up on the end, and that's when you know it's ready to go. Now we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Give that another stir together just until that garlic becomes very flavorful. Then you'll add in 4 ounces of cream cheese to your skillet. I kind of let it sit there just a little bit to where it would heat up, but you could also melt it in the microwave and then add it to your skillet too. Once that is all mixed together, you're going to take a 20 to 24 ounce jar of marinara sauce right into your skillet right here. Pepper saying hello, y'all. You'll stir everything together until it is nice and creamy. Next, we're going to add in about a 16 to 20 ounce bag of frozen cheese tortellini to the mix. You do not have to boil these tortellini. They will cook down in this sauce just perfect, and it will actually become more flavorful this way. Pop that lid on it and let it sit there for about 15 minutes. Then you'll come back in and go ahead and stir them. Once you have them stirred, you'll add in 1 cup of Colby Jack cheese right to the top of it, or whatever favorite cheese you have on hand. By all means, just go ahead and put that right over the top. Now, this does go into a 350 degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, just until that cheese is nice and melted. And I did add some pepperonis on top, and I did turn it to broil for about 3 to 5 minutes. Just watch your broiler, y'all. Now, I just served this up as is, but look at this deliciousness right here and that cheese pull. Oh my goodness. Now, I did sprinkle it with a little bit of Parmesan and some basil on top, but this was absolutely delicious. Please give this one a try, and if you do, let me know what you think of it. Please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button and become part of my YouTube family. Alright y'all, that is it for today's video. I truly hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you give me thumbs ups, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button and become part of my YouTube family in 2025. If you are in need of prayer, please let me know down below, and I would be honored to pray for you all. And if you're looking for some other foodie ideas, make sure you check out the 2 videos that are on your screen right now. But until next time, from my heart to yours, God bless. Bye.